Hello ladies, welcome to my channel. My name's Isabel and today we're going to talk about 7 permanent decisions that if you make when you're young, you might actually regret it. So let's get straight into it. Like always, I have my notebook here with my notes because I think this is such an important topic to talk about, especially to young women out there who are just starting out their adulthood or in their late teenage years. I have always been mindful of permanent decisions, but I still have fell victim to some of the things I'm going to bring up here. And I would just like to give those girls a heads up and let them know, hey, maybe you should be doing this or maybe you should not be doing that. So just want to put that out there that I too have made some of these mistakes, but there were some really big ones that I stayed clear of because I knew that I probably would change my mind later on down the line after making a permanent decision like that. So the first thing is not saving money and investing. Now, this is something I myself did not do. When I first started working, I was pretty much all about, making money and spending money. I wanted nice clothes, I wanted to travel, so I did not put my money away like I should have. Now, luckily enough, my mother was really good with money and she put money away for my sister and she basically took care of us. But I think it would have been a good idea for me to actually save money and invest money when I first started working at about age 14, 15. So I think for you ladies who are still young, late teens, early 20s, or even the older gals who aren't young adults, but you still should be saving and investing your money, especially with investing. That's something that compounds and you'll be able to retire with a good amount of money in your account. Just be mindful, putting some money away every paycheck is a good idea. So please remember that. If you don't use any of the tips that I'm saying, please use that one because that one you will truly benefit from it years down the line. So another thing that I regret, especially since I was very good at it, is the hobbies and sports that I was good at. Now, my particular sport was dance, and I danced ballet. I was actually in the Boston Ballet. I got chosen to join the Boston Ballet, and I practiced with them for a number of years. And then once I hit high school and was I think it was my junior year in high school, I decided that I no longer wanted to do ballet anymore. I was no longer interested in becoming a ballerina. And that was something that at the time I thought, yeah, fine, that's great. But now that I look back at it, I really wish I would have stuck to it because it's really something that I was good at and I loved it. And I just let hanging out with my friends and doing things after school with them become more important than that dream that I had. Now, obviously, I'm still doing fine, but I do think that it is something that I wish I didn't give up. So if you do have a hobby or a sport that you're really good at and you're young, keep doing it. Don't let those immediate gratifications and immediate pleasures distract you from the things that you're actually good at, because I could have got a scholarship for that. You could have got a scholarship for dance, for sport, for some type of hobby that you have or instrument that you play. So don't let go of the thing that you're actually good at. Another thing is not taking your education seriously. Now, I see a lot of people fall victim to this, and I know we live in a time where, people think that you don't need a degree, you don't need your education, you can figure everything out on your own. And yes, that is true for certain people, but for most people, you're going to need that degree. You're going to need to have some type of education to go on and be productive as an adult. Now, if you're the type of person who's already driven, you already know what you want to do, and you're going to work really hard to do it, then yeah, maybe you don't need to go to university. Maybe you being an entrepreneur is exactly what you need, and you can just go and thrive and do that. But if you're not that person, if you know that you're better with a structure, if you know that you don't know what you're doing, get yourself in school. Make sure that you're really paying attention, that you're really trying to get the best grades you can, and put yourself in the best position to do that. So whatever it takes, please take your education seriously. You will benefit so much from that education in so many ways. Not only the job that you will get and the profession that you will get, but also your networking abilities, the people you will meet, the connections you'll have, because your network is your net worth. So please be mindful of your education and take it seriously. So another thing that goes hand in hand with your education is not taking advantage of opportunities. Now, this may mean traveling, this may mean job opportunities or internships, or just all types of opportunities, volunteer opportunities, philanthropy opportunities, just things that may be once in a lifetime that will come up. If you remember, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but if you ever watched the show The Hills, right? So back in the day, if you remember that show, Lauren Conrad, she was on that show and she was working for Teen Vogue. And she had an opportunity with Teen Vogue to go to Paris for the summer. And she decided that she wasn't going to do that and she was going to spend the summer with her boyfriend. And what came out of that? Yes, her and her boyfriend broke up. And that is what the summer was. It was a huge heartbreak in the end, and she missed out on a great opportunity to go to Paris. Now she got the opportunity again, and it's fine. Lauren's doing great these days, so no need to worry about that. But I'm saying that those are the opportunities that we get, and sometimes we pass up on those opportunities for things that aren't that important and aren't that great, and usually don't work out in our favor. So please be mindful of the opportunities that you get to travel, to work, to volunteer, to just be there. Take them, because you don't know if they're coming back around, and every opportunity is not always going to be the greatest opportunity, but if they are really good, take advantage of them. All right. So here's another thing that I somewhat did, but I did take my time in doing it, and still I kind of regret it. And that is tattoos. Now, I know that tattoos are really popular. A lot of people have them. It's trendy. It's the bee's knees. Everybody wants to get a tattoo. But I'm telling you, you should wait. And when I say wait, I say maybe be 25 plus and then get a tattoo, because I personally think that, especially on women, tattoos aren't something that you're going to want to have in the long run. Now, I personally have a tattoo and it's on my back, and I forget that it's there, but it is there. And if I could choose to have it and not have it, I would choose not to have it. Because the difference with tattoos and piercings is that with piercings, you can just take out the earring and it's like it never happened. But with tattoos, it's there. And I consider it a permanent decision, because to take off the tattoo, you have to invest in getting the laser removal of the tattoo. So yes, it's not all the way a permanent decision, but it definitely is a permanent decision that I personally wouldn't recommend anybody getting a tattoo. But especially if you're a woman and you're interested in princess dating and queen relationships and empress marriages, then you probably don't want a tattoo. Now, if you already have them, that's great, no shade, but maybe don't get any more. All right. And it's so funny because when I was younger and my mom would say, don't get any tattoos, like, no, stuff like that, I thought she was crazy. I'm like, lady, I'm going to do what I want to do, right? It's my body. I want a tattoo. I'm going to get a tattoo. But now I'm like, oh my God, I wish I listened to you. You were so right. So just think about it. And if you are going to get one, please get something small and something that's actually meaningful to you. Having these dumb tattoos that don't mean anything or that are just trendy is honestly a waste. And you shouldn't even be doing things like that to your body if it doesn't mean anything to you. So just be mindful of the tattoos. If you don't have one, please don't get one. And if you already have one, oh well. So the sixth thing that I would say that you probably might regret while you're young is getting married too young. I know you can get divorced, obviously, and you won't be married to the person anymore, but it's still a stain on your dating record, right? Because a divorce isn't just I'm divorced and I can move on and never have to think about it again. If you want to get married again, you're going to need to bring up your divorce papers. You're going to need to, revisit that situation, and that's going to be part of your life. And if you do it too young, your mindset may not be what's important when you're getting married. So a lot of the time you'll see young girls who get married at like 18 or whatever to their high school sweetheart or whatever like that. They're just marrying the person because they love them, right? And the guy doesn't even have a career, doesn't know what he wants to do exactly, but the woman just loves him and she's like, yes, I'll marry you. But in reality, that sets you up for struggle. And I'm sorry, I do not subscribe to struggle love. I don't think that anybody should subscribe to struggle love. And I think while you're young, you should be focusing on yourself and getting experience, figuring out what it is that you want, taking advantage of opportunities, and locking yourself down too young may really strip you of those opportunities. Now, what is too young? So I obviously think, 18 to say 22 is too young, right? But then you can be 22 and then that's still too young. But I think most women will say that 25 and up is a great age to start to get married, because by 25 as women, we usually know what it is that we want to create. So I would say 25 and up is a good age to start to consider to get married. And the last thing is having a child while you're young and unmarried. Now, this is something that I am happy to say that it's more and more popular to not do this, but again, it's something that still continues to happen. And I really feel bad for the women who are in these situations. Whether they see it or not, this is not a situation that any woman should be putting herself in. When you have a child, you're supposed to give that child all of you, right? You're supposed to, put that child first. You're supposed to provide and protect that child because you brought them into this world. Now, if you yourself are young and don't have the resources necessary to take care of the child, and the father is not married to you, is not committed to you, or is not there for you and the child, then it's going to be very difficult moving forward. So something as permanent, and that is the most permanent thing, is having a child, is going to alter your life drastically. Now, I personally haven't been through this, but I know people who have, and I have family members who have, and I'm telling you, it takes so much out of you, because not only do you still have some growing and maturing to do, but now you have to help grow and mature a child. And that's not easy, especially when you don't know what it is that you're doing. And now you're gonna need support from the grandparents, you're gonna need support from, your family members and your neighbors or whoever it is that you're gonna go to. You're gonna need support. And sometimes women, end up going to the government for help, and then it sometimes leaves them in poverty because of that. And you don't want to bring up a child in poverty. You don't want to bring up a child alone. So if you are going through something like that, I feel for you. I understand. And whatever you do, continue to try to do your best. But if you aren't in this situation, please don't put yourself in that situation. Wait to have children, wait to get married, wait to do it when you actually know what it is that you want, instead of doing it, because most of the time when women do it, they do it for the man. And if he's around the same age as you, he doesn't even know what he wants. He doesn't even have the ability to give you what it is you need to raise a child. So please don't do it if you haven't done it. Just don't do it. Now, I know there are instances where women have no choice, and there is reasons behind that. I don't know if I can say the word, but if that's not your situation, please don't let anybody put a baby in you before you're old enough, before you know what it is you want to do with your life, before you've taken advantage of your opportunities, before you've traveled, before you've just seen the world, made the mistakes you needed to make. All right? Okay. Now, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you know anybody who may need to hear this message, please send it to them. I would be truly grateful, and I know they will as well. Now, if you like this video and want to see more like it, please like it and comment. And also, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you. And I'll see you in the next video.